And we back.
What it do, you? What's up, y'all?
You sound like Yogi Berra. Hey, boo boo.
I've been like actually working on like playing around with sounds. I did that shit in one of my workout videos just because, like, what emotion am I feeling right now? And I just I just made some random ass noise. Just
in your last video.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be the one I'm dropping today.
Dropping
like
today?
the mic up situation. I was just like, let me just play around with it. So that's what I was like, fuck it.
That's the stuff people like, man. Those little like nuances,
Yeah,
subtle
'cause
stuff that
It's like emotions spoken out. If you could come up with like a sound for one.
yeah.
Random as fuck.
I like that.
But welcome. What's up, y'all?
What it do? This is Humanity's Last Hope. I'm Dorian.
I am Aaron.
Welcome to the show.
I see you came out with the sexy voice. He said, I'm Dorian.
I was trying to let it trail off or something. I don't know. And I'm playing with sounds, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm testing out different sounds and match my emotions.
Yes. So I wanted to start it off with the introducing our sponsors.
Yes.
But I'm going to shock you real quick. So we also have a second sponsor, Anime Kills, baby.
Hey,
I don't know why we. Hey,
let's go.
Hey, hello. I don't know why we didn't think about it. You know, this is also sponsored by Anime Kills. If you guys haven't checked us out yet, you could check us out on. I want to say Instagram is Instagram and TikTok. That's ANIM 3 Kills. Let's get it with the Z at the end.
Z. Let's go.
Yeah.
Anime Kills is the next best streetwear brand out right now.
Street fitness and anime based.
Let's get it. And news from our second sponsor, Brown Shoe Fit, baby. The #1 sit and fit shoe store in America, located all throughout the Midwest.
Speak on
So
it.
if you guys are looking for a good, comfortable pair of shoes to run in, hike in, work in, do whatever you need to do in, then come check us out. And if you mention this podcast and you visit the Muskogee, Oklahoma location, the one that I own, we're going to give you $25 off your next purchase.
Talk
That's
that
Brown
talk.
Shoe Fit Company.
Talk that talk.
Yes, sir. Brown Shoe Fit and Anime Kills. Thank you for the sponsorship, guys.
We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
And speaking of such, like the topic that we kind of were starting early, we always end up doing this. We need to start recording like as soon as we get in the building because like we were kind of having like a nostalgia type conversation where we were talking about like the different clothing brands that kind of stood out to us in high school and like what happened to some of them and the fact that some of them are kind of still pacing, some of them are completely outpaced at this point. But it was funny because like me and him were very big on kind of graphic tees. He brought in, I want to say the kind of the skate style, primitives,
This was before Primitive.
Obey. Is Obey? Was Obey?
Obey was back then.
Big skate.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these brands were in skate shops. They weren't really in like the other stores.
Not necessarily. They may not have been like actual skate brands, but you know.
Because this is like, I don't even know if they had urban street clothes stores back then. Usually we shopped at the kind of those, like the Mainland or the primitive type of vibe. Like or Active. Active was a big one.
Yep.
But how all of those kind of changed the game of streetwear fashion for the most part because we were always wearing what?
Oh man, what were we wearing before that? I don't. Oh, okay. Well, freshman year, like I was talking about before, like freshman year, we were still. Fashion, I think, was still influenced by like Rockaware and Coogis and
Sean John.
I forgot about Sean John.
Yes.
Echo, those type of brands. Which, looking back now, please, I hope that style never comes back in.
It might, bro, because I see a lot. Because first off, the baggy is back. You know what I'm saying?
Baggy
a
is
lot more flared, a lot more large fit. 2XL, 3XL, oversized. It came full circle, and it's funny that you mentioned that too, because I know Adichie, Echo, like all those shirts, we always got like 2XL. And I don't know if we bought 2XL because it was the style, or if I bought it because like that's what I could afford. Like that only had that one left.
That's all.
I couldn't say on it, but
it's the only sizes they have
only
left.
sizes they fucking had left at the J.C. Penney or something like that. But it's funny too because once those clothing brands started showing up in like Ross, TJ Maxx's and stuff, you kind of felt like
end
they
of
were
life.
dead. It was end.
It's end of life product.
EOL for sure.
Yep.
And I remember too, like at our school specifically, like you kind of was ahead of the curve when it came down to like.
Yeah, I put everybody on with the
skating
SBs
fit.
and where to shop for all the stuff and Echo or like not Echo, but because I was into skateboarding that was my first love was skateboarding. So I was shopping at Active when I was in like the 5th and 6th grade.
Yep, I ain't never heard of Active until you brought it up.
Yeah. And so I told everybody about Active at the school. And so Well, actually, no, I didn't. I told only a couple people, like, bro, where'd you get that shirt? And I'd look at them like,
Yeah, because you wasn't really talking about like, and this is the age of gatekeep, like for show. Like most people weren't telling people where they were getting their outfits.
Yeah, not to date us, but this is back in like 07,
06,
07.
05, yeah.
Yeah, when we were freshmen, freshmen in high school.
Well, wearing fake shit was cool. It was okay. Everybody.
Oh yeah, nobody was tripping.
Everybody was wearing fake. I
Yeah.
had fake Bapes. I had fake Jabos. Like, bro, people asking me that I knew had more money than me. He's like, hey, where'd you get those Bapes from? And I'm like, I got these in Toledo, and I got them at a liquor store, so I should have known something was up. But like it was an age where really they
You get them at a liquor store?
Bro, I got them at a liquor store for real. Like it was attached to a liquor store. But
Okay.
But the reason I bought them too is because I'm like, ain't nobody in California got them. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna wear it. So I still had that same.
And how much
vibe.
did you pay for them?
Like $80-$90.
Overpriced.
No, Bapes were like going for $400, real ones. So I think $90 for like the knockoffs was fine because they weren't like.
I suppose.
Because the fact that they were still built to quality, because this is when like they were still quality shoes. Knockoff means that they just were an approved factory to make them. Is really what it is.
It depends though. It depends.
On what?
It depends, bro.
what?
On the story that the man told you. Because if you go to a liquor store, okay, yeah, he's gonna tell you this is actually from the Bape factory, but it's a factory second.
That's not why I say that. I'm saying this because of my current understanding of what knockoffs are. Knockoffs are just like, some of them are lower quality, facts. Like you could tell. But when I now understand, since I'm into the my brand and stuff like that, and I'm actually researching this type of stuff, really a knockoff is just like built, it's just made in another unapproved factory, but they're all made in the same.
Made in an unapproved factory.
Yeah, through an unapproved process, but they literally are probably the same quality, if that makes sense. So really,
materially.
yeah, materially,
yeah.
like structurally,
Whoa.
so, like because the Bapes I had they looked like the actual Bapes.
But you never can tell though. You can't tell. There's no way to tell. Like that's what I'm saying. Like okay, he said that, but that may not necessarily be the truth.
Oh, it might not,
Because the machines, like the reason why, like obviously there's production value.
Yes.
Like take it all the way back.
Yes.
Which is why I don't buy cheap food. It's like okay, you know what, like I'm not gonna buy a 99-cent TV dinner because you can't put a whole lot of you can't put a lot of production value into something that costs 99 cents at retail. It's just like come on, man. What do you feed me?
That makes sense.
But apples and oranges, because that's food and we're talking about garments.
Yeah.
But I think it still applies. But because if you look at some of the, you ever watch like shoe videos online and how they're made in like certain factories?
I haven't gotten into that yet.
Because you can find some
Like
videos.
on a conveyor belt type of thing?
Yes,
Okay.
manufacturing. Yeah, so you can find some videos where like it's a multi-million-dollar facilities.
Yes.
And then you can see some shoes that a sucker just poured in a mold and then stamped it in a heat machine.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You never really can tell.
And what I'm talking about is more so of the fact that like we're at the age and we're like in a location to where you don't have people like, there's no diamond testers. There's no like somebody coming around like, hey, this cloth, this fabric is not herringbone. This is not like, you know what I'm saying? You don't got nobody pulling up that. The only issue is if there was some like defects, like K instead of a Q, or like the star was misaligned. None of that shit could be like, there's nobody to test it.
True.
So you could get away with just about anything. Jordans, the only way that you truly know is if you were aware of what actually was released. And there's no real internet at this time.
There's the internet, but it wasn't
like it's not to this capacity. You can't just Google search like on a Nokia or Sidekick.
That's true.
The release.
That's true. On your phone, you're 100% correct. You'd have to go to a PC.
You have to, and not only that, you only know about releases at the store. There was no online shopping like that at this time.
No, there was though.
How?
There was, because how I knew about all the SBs is I would go to NikeSB.com and they had from start to finish the whole catalog, bro.
But you're a fucking trailblazer with those. Like, I didn't even know what Nike SB was until like I seen y'all in them type of thing.
Right, but I'm just saying there was the you could search for that type of stuff.
The possibility or the likelihood that somebody's gonna actually be able to search the shit is so slim. You have to have like internet and I don't think smartphones was busting at this time. Like,
No.
it's not likely. So nobody's gonna be able to pull up a phone and show you that your shit's
Not
fake.
on the
They
spot,
can't prove
no.
it.
No, not on the
most
spot.
people ain't. So you could get away with most things. It's as soon as you get into even like the most foolish colors. But the reason I bring it up is because like it just shows how style was so not saturated, but so I would say broad or so accessible at the time. Like you could find them in liquor stores, you could find them at the swap meet, you could find fashion everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you had to find it in person because you're not finding it online. You know what I'm saying? So you have to like hunt for that shit. And like I would say too, a lot of people bought their shoes from the swap meet.
Oh,
You don't know where they're getting their fucking product from unless you go to a mall. You only really trust malls. I didn't buy my shoe in a mall, so I knew it was a chance it could be fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
more than likely.
there's
fake.
no QA, there's no quality control,
Right.
or QC when it came to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but Primitive, like in Obey and all those stores and shit like Denactive, like you walk in that store, it's huge as fuck. Like shirts wall to wall type
most
of thing.
cases,
It's
yeah.
like you only need to shop there. You only need to shop at this one because they're gonna have a few different brands and shit like that that you can fuck with. And I know like I wasn't really hip to the whole like SB thing until probably my senior year for the most part. I couldn't really afford them anyway until I was saving up. So I was into Adidas, Shell Toe, LeBrons. I had the first LeBrons. Yeah, I had the first. Those was cool. And them came, he re-released those, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that like some of these styles and shit like that. I had the Allen Iversons, the Answers. I had Air Force Ones.
I think I remember those Reeboks.
Yeah, Reebok. Air Force Ones are were crazy at this time. If you had Forces, you was
Way bigger than
couldn't
what they
lose.
are now.
You couldn't lose.
Yeah.
Couldn't lose with Forces and Nike socks.
Nope.
Any fit works.
Nope. Yeah, the Air Force Ones back then. It was fever pitch, bro. Like nowhere. Like okay, Air Force Ones had a nice little resurgence. Now they're a part of most people's wardrobe staples. Like
You can't lose.
pair of clean white ones. I mean, you can't lose. Exactly, just like what you said.
It-
But the fact that the song came out, bro.
The song
That's
came
what
out.
really-
It came out junior high, I believe, for us.
It was junior high.
Junior high. But yeah, when that shit happened, they went bananas. You couldn't get them anywhere. They were sold out. I had to get actually. I remember because when my dad went to go get them. This is when I still live in Ohio. They sold out every mall, bro. So I had to get these Adidas straps, like they were strapped Adidas, and they were cool. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't.
Wasn't some ones though.
It wasn't the. It wasn't.
Hey,
the one.
what's your favorite ones?
My favorite?
Like, what's your favorite Air Force One? Like, what style? Or not style, but like what height? I like the mids
You know, I've only owned 2 pairs.
of Air Forces.
Excuse me, 2 pairs. That's crazy, right?
That is crazy.
I couldn't afford them like that back in the day when I was in high school. And I had a white pair, Lowe's, when I was in high school. I had a black pair. Oh, you know what? I had 3. Yeah, I had a white pair and a black pair. And then I just like back in 2017, 18, I just got a pair of mids. And the only reason I got the mids is because I was going to Halloween as Nelly. So I had to put the Forces on and then I had the sweatband and headband and shit, and I had a jersey. So I was just dressing up as Nelly.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I bought them.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm not like big into Forces like that.
Not big into them. Okay.
Not my speed.
All right.
Not really.
All right. I saw some. They have some pretty dope colorways in the Forces though.
They do. The only issue is because like Forces were so saturated, everybody had them on.
I know, but it's like everybody wearing Chucks. You know, it's an instant like. Oh, and that was the point I was getting ready to make. I'll circle back to it real quick. When we were talking about the Jordans and why nobody was really like messing with them, it's because they weren't like super popular back then.
Nah.
It was the Vans era, the Chuck Taylor era, the
Jerking phase, bro. It's like
it was that where
skater vibe.
it
Like,
was blending with like black culture in America.
Yep.
So like it was that crossover, you know.
And it was a cool 2 years of that, 2-3 years of that, where
was
Jordans
cool,
were
man.
still bought, but they weren't like the shoe you were seeing everybody in California wearing like that.
Nah.
And
not
then
at
plus
all.
they were pricey too though. Like people needed like the $40 Chucks. They needed some shit they could have in rotation.
I think that's why they're so popular.
Yeah.
The Chucks?
Yeah, easy. But they went up on the price on the Chucks though. It's crazy.
It always happens that way.
Always happen. Or it's like they're like they're almost pretty much the Converse version of Forces if you think about it, because they go with most outfits. You can't lose.
You talking about Air Forces?
No, Chucks. Like,
Oh, Chucks?
Just
Yeah.
like Forces, people buy them because they go with everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like you can step into it. Like it's whatever you want to do with them.
And that's
Truly.
why. That's probably why I didn't buy a lot of them. I had Chucks, but I only bought Chucks probably once.
All I had was the
twice.
white and the black pair. That's
Yeah.
it. I didn't do none of the high tops. It was all low tops.
This dude, you remember Eric Lawton? think he
I
played
do remember
basketball.
him. Yeah,
he
yeah,
had
yeah.
these fucking Chucks that were like burgundy and beige. They were hard as fuck. I'm like, damn, where the fuck you get those from? Like, I've never seen these Chucks before.
He was a kind of a fresh dude in school though.
I would say so.
He did have
like
some
he
fits.
had the he was pushing a Vizu, the shit like really unattainable. That was a New York style. He was wearing New York brands. I would say motherfuckers that was East Coast brands, but he was wearing it like a California nigga because he was more slim fit. You know what I'm saying? Like more of a like skater vibe. You feel me? Basketball player vibe as opposed to like baggy and like heavy. But because it's
Right.
warmer though. That's
Right.
mostly why. But
Right.
I thought I don't know, man. I wonder who Race was a cat that was always fitted. Remember Race? Light skin, curly hair.
I do remember
he
Race.
He played on the back. I think it was
I
always
do-
basketball players that really had to
I do remember Race.
think about it.
Well, that's because there was more black dudes on the basketball team. On the football team, it was just you, me, Clarence, and Tyrone.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. So
That's
there wasn't
very
many
true.
people. There wasn't like, and all of us started, and everyone else on the team
Damn, that's
was white.
not
yeah.
everybody else, but they weren't like.
I mean, all the other starters. I mean, like skill guys.
That's true.
They were
different.
all of
They
them
were different race.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
were-
good point.
Yeah, yeah. So like, we didn't really have like a, you know what I'm saying, like,
Somebody to follow behind when it came to Fitch. You have a good point.
or somebody to like even set the tone really. Yeah, just
I never
we'll follow
thought about
behind.
that.
Yeah, it was just us.
I never thought about that because most of the people that like were into like the fits and fashion really weren't into sports like that.
They weren't into sports like that. Nah.
Nah, good point.
Yeah, and I wasn't really tripping on fashion back then. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I wanted my parents to look clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember one time, bro, because we didn't have no money. Freshman year, I had to wear some of Dimitri's old clothes. Yeah, to
hand-me-down
school. The
vibe.
hand-me-downs. Yeah, bro.
Yes.
And I remember it was what kind of shirt was it? It was a nice shirt. I think it was an Aniche shirt, but it was like some of it was red, and then right in the middle, some bleach hit it, and like turn one of the red like spots pink.
Yeah.
And I remember when it happened because my brother wore it to school when he was I think he was like either a freshman or a sophomore. I don't really remember. He was a sophomore, and then I wore it to school the next year because we didn't have no money for clothes, and I was like, man, I hope nobody recognizes this shirt, or else I'm
Nobody
done.
recognized that shit.
Or else I'm done.
Yeah, it is the crazy shit. When it came to outfits, people wear like the same shit multiple times in a week. Nobody really gave a fuck.
Pants, not shirts, though. I remember one time I got roasted.
Oh, where?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, shit.
In middle school. 'Cause we
Casualty
had-
of war.
Bro, I'm telling you. But she just didn't like me, though. She
Oh, it was a chick?
yeah. She just didn't like me.
Shit, fam.
Or you know what? I think she did, and that's why she always picked on me.
Yo.
Because she called, man.
California is fucking brutal. You get roasted by a
bruh,
chick?
I'm telling you.
That's bad. You must have been feeling down. Like,
Bro, and
down
it
bad.
wasn't even bro, because here's the thing. Like, you remember Santa Fe? Did you go to
Yeah, I went to
Okay,
that.
so Santa Fe, like, we had rotating schedules.
Uh-huh.
So like
Yeah, I
we
remember.
had 6 classes, but you only went to class because we had 90-minute classes.
Yep.
So you only went like periods 1 through 5 on Monday, and then 2, 4, 6 on Tuesday, and it would rotate.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I can get away with wearing this shirt. The second time, ain't nobody saw the 2, 4, 6 people didn't see me on the 1, 3, 5 days. I was mistaken, bro.
They caught you slipping.
Mr. Post math class. I was in there with a shirt on, bro, just chilling. She goes, you wore that shirt last time you were here. No, she goes, I remember exactly what she said. She goes, you wore that shirt on Thursday. And I was like,
Dated you and everything? Fuck.
and
She
niggas
pulled
had-
your ticket, bro.
She did, bro.
But hey, you win, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? The funny thing is though, like, who knows where that chick is at right now? But I can guarantee you, she don't own a business.
Oh,
She ain't
bro.
wearing. Is that a Brightland?
Yeah, that's a
She's not wearing a Brightland, fam.
Hey, no, but I'm not even.
She definitely don't have no fucking stash either.
Can't grow a stash, can't you? Unless you get one implant. She might have one though.
She might.
You can take hormones these days, so she might have one.
Oh shit,
She-
could.
she might
could
have
a
one.
full on go. Remy showed me a photo, bro, of Well, she's like, you wouldn't even know this was a girl. I was like, what? Dude, full goatee.
Yeah, bro.
Rick Ross in it. I'm like, damn, her shit almost more filled than mine.
Bros, that's what happens when
Like,
you
what
take
is
the
she?
juice.
I need that shit.
You're taking the juice, bro.
I need some of that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was a criminal on the run,
Oh, you just got to switch up.
I'm switching it up. Like, oh, these niggas ain't never catching me. I'm going to hang out for about cool 6 months, pump myself full of estrogen, come out a female, cross the border, and then get back right again.
This
You
nigga,
know what I'm saying?
Think
Like,
about the FBI
allude-
pulling up this fucking video.
Elude attack. Oh,
Niggas on the run.
spot them now. Oh, my gosh.
But
Hey,
the nostalgia. So when we first linked up today, it was funny because we brought up like how LRG had a chokehold on the game back then.
oh, my.
Very, very serious.
Yeah.
I
So,
still have my LRGs. I don't think you remember this dude. He was like a short. He might have
that
been
zip hoodie still?
Yeah, the one with the houndstooth
Yep.
print. Bro, I still have that shit.
That's a
Do you know
clean-
why I kept it though?
It's a zip
It's
one.
because I was like, LRG might come back in style. 1, 2. Like I just really love the fucking jacket. And you know me personally, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
If
you
someone
don't
says
throw
out of
stuff
style, I'm
away,
not feeling
yeah,
it,
yeah.
I'm probably still gonna have it. I want to say I probably have to check the trunk or like the bin, but I want to say I still have that jacket. And if not, I just recently got rid of it.
I thought I saw when we moved that stuff from your storage.
And it's probably still.
I thought
probably
I
still
saw
have
it because I think I asked you about it. I don't remember.
Yeah,
fully, though.
because it made me like that. That was one of my hardest fits in high school. So it's like nostalgia, right? It made me feel good. So
I
I
mean,
kept that bitch.
we
And I had
knew-
the Brian Costin. Or was it not Brian Costin? It was the
You talking about Eric Costin?
no, not Eric Costins, not the blue ones. I had the high mid top that had the orange check and they had an army fatigue on it. SBs.
Dunks.
Yeah,
Yep.
I forgot the name of.
I
it.
remember those.
I thought it was Brian something, whatever that is. But I had those with that jacket. I thought I was killing the game, bro.
I mean, it matched
It's
perfectly.
Fire.
Yeah, I remember
was
that fit.
killing
I was like, damn.
So I was like, oh, I feel it. And I outgrew the size of the shoe, and I still kind of kept them for a little bit. I just took the soles out.
let me ask you a question, because I think about this sometimes.
I feel like I'm
When you wear a fit that like you feel gives you confidence,
Yeah.
is the fit really that fresh, or is it really like, you know what I'm saying, like that good of an outfit, or is it just how you feel in that outfit?
That's a good ass question. So I'll say the latter. It's just how I feel in that outfit.
Okay.
Because sometimes like I feel like the outfit isn't all that great. You know what I'm saying? Personally, Remy loves it. Somebody else like, damn, where'd you get that? I'm like, damn, this is like I didn't really want to wear this today, or somehow it worked out. So I would say a lot of the times just like how you know what I'm saying, I feel in it. If as long as I got a fresh haircut, you dig.
Right.
Sometimes I used to wear a lot of snapbacks, but sometimes snapback vibe. And it's really just kind of like the reality I create out of it. So whenever I'm putting some like outfits together, so it's just my reality. Like it's a feel good. This felt good to put on. This felt good to wear. And so I'm gonna rock this shit regardless of external factors. And you know that's why I think a lot of people like the style now is so crazily different. Is because people wear what the fuck they like, as opposed to just. And there's a lot of people that wear the same shit as everybody else. But I feel like the people that stand out the most are the people that wear the fuck like and unapologetic about it.
Yes.
Like, did you see Kanye's like outfit? It was a complete
Which
like,
one?
blanket. Like he just went to I think it was some fashion show, and he had on like all white, but he had his face covered with a sheer white hood. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, he looked like
He was just all white, got white gloves, everything like that. Like you couldn't see any of his skin tone.
He's done that before with
He's
all
done it-
black, hasn't
exactly.
he?
He has, but he wears it like unapologetically. So like he gets so many eyes and shit like that. Me personally, I wouldn't wear it, but it's like
Kanye's like the little kid that would just wear anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas
he's a grown man that will wear anything.
but that's what I'm saying though. Like I was making
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? Like
when little girls wear the tutu or just random socks and shit like that, just because it's what they feel is good. I think that's in
he just never.
because his mom did encourage him in a manner that like made him self-aware and confident as fuck. I would say that. So I think I kind of try to carry the same sense.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm not gonna feel, especially as a grown man these days, I'm not gonna feel bad ever for what I wear or what I don't choose to wear. Like I don't wear a lot of luxury brands. That's just by choice. And
You talking about Gucci? And
Gucci,
stuff. Okay.
LV, like you don't see me in a lot of that stuff. And I don't know if I ever would, because to me, there's so many other people in it. It's just like, I'm gonna be cloned up. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I really push away from.
And not to say that they're not doing some pretty great things, because they, you know, I mean, they do a lot of fashion, but it's just like, one is the price for me.
Price point.
You know,
I agree.
I just wouldn't even feel like, you know, because as soon as you wash it, or, you know, as soon as you get it dry clean, I mean, yes, you can do all the things that you need to do to care for the garment.
Yeah.
But it's eventually just gonna
Deteriorate.
just like anything else.
It's gonna deteriorate.
It's gonna deteriorate. So why pay that much for something like that?
And I think too,
Personally.
yeah, and I agree. And I think part of it for me is a poverty mindset for me, right? And on top of that too, I wouldn't feel comfortable in it because it's not my reality right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me, like if I'm putting on Chrome Heart, or if I'm putting on like Louis or whatever expensive ass brand, and I can't like afford to buy a 6th property or 7th property or something like that, I feel like I'm just like faking it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just fraudulent on my part.
Yeah.
If I am at a place where like money's not of a concern, I still probably wouldn't wear it, but like I wouldn't feel fraud putting it on. You know what I'm saying? I like, for example, a lot of people like will be renting or like don't have a car, don't have like, you know what I'm saying, money on the tank, not like, but they got on Gucci, Louis, and this and the third for an exterior appearance, right? That's cool, but it's just, that's not me. I would feel fraudulent as fuck. Like, why am I wearing this again? I don't move with these crowds. I don't necessarily fuck with these brands. So it's like, so for me, they would have to make something that I would be like, fuck, that's lit. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen much that they've made to be like, I have to wear those. There was one pair of Christian Dior shoes that me and Remy seen in the airport though. We didn't know they were Christian Dior. We asked the lady, and I was like, I would wear those. Like, what the fuck are those? And she asked the lady, she's like, those is hard. And we found out they were Christian Dior. They were like $1,300. I was like, well, I ain't gonna be wearing them. But if I had that capital, it's like,
it's relative. I see what you're saying.
It's relative. So for me, if money's not an object, then I would get them because I like them. But I don't like some of the stuff that they put out. So that's why I'm like, you're not gonna catch me in it. If I'm wearing it, it's because I like it.
Right.
It's because like I thought this was some solid cloth, but I'm not just gonna wear it because it has a luxury logo with it. And I think a lot of people branding, you know, just because it's luxury. It's
of course.
synonymous for capital.
Of course. You know, that real quick, and I got another question for you. It kind of jogged my memory about a book I need to read. It's called Man and His Symbols. So there's definitely got to be a connection there with, you know, the logos and things that we see. So what constitutes a good outfit, in your opinion? You know, we talked a little bit about how, you know, that you wear an outfit because, you know, the confidence factor and how you feel in the outfit. So, you know, what makes up a good outfit?
I would say what makes up a good outfit is character, foundationally. If I look at you and I see like kind of what you're wearing, I could distinguish your character in a sense. So what makes an outfit good is just like that, what precedes that, right? So how am I moving, how am I talking, how am I communicating? Because a person can have on like a JCPenney suit, but the person is like so well spoken, so well versed, or so well in his network game that you don't really notice the suit. But the suit seems so much doper because the nigga wearing it. So I associate, because I've seen a lot of people in some instances, like, and even myself, where I see some basic or normal or what would be typically unnoticeable garment on somebody, and I'd be like, shit, that looks good, bro. And I think it's because of the person wearing it, because if I seen it just laid, it wouldn't resonate with me. And so what I found was it's not necessarily like you know when people say put that shit on, like when they put on, so there has to be something in you, even if you wearing like some of the like hardest garments and like the most stylish shit. If the person wearing it isn't really, you know, carrying it, then the outfit is just fabric.
Yep.
So I would say And I know that's not the answer you was expecting, because I think you were more so like the construction of the fit.
No, you answered it. But you know, like, take us through your process when you select an outfit.
First thing I do is I want to see what my base looks like. What shoes haven't I worn in a while? What shoes does this event call for? And then I kind of move from there. Because for me personally, I usually go bottom up, pretty much. So it's whatever shoes I want to wear, and then I try to fit everything around that. Unless I have something new come into the game for me, like a new shirt, a new pair of pants, then I'll style around that. But usually it's from the bottom up for me. So first figure out like, okay, this is the outside event. This is a lot of miles are going to be walked in this situation, or this is, you know, a kick it, this is a pool party, whatever it may be, right? And then I move from there in association with comfort. Comfort first and foremost, because I like to feel comfortable. I'm not wearing nothing uncomfortable.
I feel you.
Nothing uncomfortable. And I don't think I ever have. I've never put myself in uncomfortable clothes, because like if I'm going to be able to give my best character, but my best self in a situation, I got to feel comfortable. I can't be worried about if I'm extremely hot or if I'm extremely cold, or if the shoes hurting my feet. Like, I can't worry about none of that shit. I just like to move, you know what I'm saying? So to do so fluidly, it's always comfort first, you know what I mean? So usually the shit that I have is comfort based. Saucony's, Asics, New Balances. Diodors are not the most comfortable, but they're better than most, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I usually stay away from the high end, because everybody that I knew fuck with them, they said they're uncomfortable as shit. Literally, they can't stand wearing them for like a couple hours. I'm like, them shits is $1,400. You can't like stand them. And I think it has to do with the leather and all the other shit, but it's not for me.
No, I mean, but for $1,400, you can source the best leather.
You know what I mean? And so I would say it starts there. And then I don't always lean into seasonal shit. It's just whatever appeals to me.
Okay.
I'll throw something on the bed like, ask Rem, like, what do you think of these two? Yeah, do this one or don't do that one. Sometimes she'll tell me and I'm like, but I really want to do that one. Because I did. Like, for example, that fit that I told you, like IG was roasting me on, she told me not to wear it. She's like, no, don't wear that. But I wore it anyway because it was what I wanted to wear. I'm not about to just like, okay. But sometimes she tell me and I'm like, yeah, I agree.
Right. But only if you agree, though.
Not necessarily. Sometimes, like, I take it into, but if I really, like, this is what I want to wear, then it's like, I'm going to wear it.
Right, but I'm saying, like, only if you agree. Like, you were asking for, like, yeah, I got you.
And so, for me, that's kind of how I base my fits. What about you?
I think that's a good way to base your fits. Especially, you know, with the accompanying mindset that you have. It's like, I'm wearing this because I want to wear it.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing this because I'm like trying to make a statement with the brand. I'm not wearing it because I'm trying to impress anybody else. You're going for comfort and what makes you feel good. And ultimately, I think that's what, you know.
And to keep it a stack with you, like, and this is, most friends, family would say this shit, bro. Like, I get away with a lot of shit. Like, skin tone wise, like shape wise, or like visually haircut wise, whatever it is, I could get away with a lot of shit. And that doesn't mean I'm just wearing whatever the fuck like I look at, but that also probably has an aspect to it. Like, my confidence in me getting away with a lot of shit means I can move how I want to and not have to deal with certain repercussions.
Right.
And even if repercussions come, typically I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
It's really my approach.
Yep.
Most people care about what people say about shit, this, that, and the third.
Yep.
I don't.
It's incredibly freeing when you stop and when you don't. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but I don't. So essentially, if somebody says this, that, and the third, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel good. And I appreciate that. So thanks, regards. However, if it doesn't come, it doesn't dwindle anything that I have.
Yeah, you're like one of those, you know, when you're prospecting for gold. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they call them, but they scoop up the dirt. A sifter, or I think maybe go by a different name, and you just shake off the dirt. You keep the gold.
Exactly.
You keep what you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how I move. What about you? Because I know you're going through like a...
Yeah, I'm going through like a transitional phase right now with my fashion choices and the clothes that I'm wearing. I'm just wanting to find something that's a little bit more in line with how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling in my current state. So, you know, just a bit more of a matured look. You know, with some of the goals that I have in mind, like I want to present myself in a way that, you know, when people look at me, they're like, okay, that, you know, his clothes match his personality, you know, because if I'm up there talking about, you know, certain things and I've got on like a, you know, I don't know, if the clothes don't match the message, basically.
Got you.
But you know, so how I select fits and how I select clothes is, you know, what can I wear that suits me but is subtle yet makes a statement, you know? Because like you know, I'm tall, I'm in shape, you know, like my skin tone is such that clothes just fit better. So, you know, I can get away with stuff too. Now, for me, like it can't be just too big, you know, because like my extremities are a little bit skinnier. So like if I go with too baggy, then I look super small. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, things that fit around my arms, that fit around my chest, that are a little bit looser, things like that, I try to prioritize just because, you know, when the clothes fit me better, I feel better in the clothes, you know? So that's really what it all comes down to. It's like, okay, is it clean? Right?
And by clean, you mean blank canvas?
Blank canvas, right? Exactly.
Solid.
Yeah. Is it a clean, fresh look? That's really what I go for, you know? A lot of solids.
Solid.
I can't get away from solids, man. I just like it, you know?
Do what you like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, blank, blank, blank. But so, and then I select it based off of, you know, use too. Every now and then I'll wear a fit that kind of pushes the boundaries, you know, of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, it's only uncomfortable after you first get into it. Like when you first put on a fit and you're like, man, I don't really know if this goes. But if you spend some time in it, walk around in it, it grows on you. And you're like, oh no, I'm pulling this off.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. You know, so like I'll do that every now and then, and it, you know,
it works.
It works. So, you know, I've got clothes that I put on and I know I'm you know, I know it's a go.
Yeah.
I got clothes that I wear that, you know, I try to push the envelope a little bit. And then I got clothes that I wear that it's just like, you know, casual, comfortable, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so for you go for more of like a subtle statement piece. You know what I mean? So it's something that stand out, or you stand out by, how do you say it? Is it you stand out by standing in or something like that?
Fitting in by I don't know how.
I forgot. There's a fucking phrase for it. Y'all drop it in the comments. Whatever that shit is. But you don't want to be too loud in the room, but you want to be like noticed.
Yeah.
Noticeable, but not noticed in a sense.
Yeah. But you know, I think it's all about how you wear it, you know.
Always.
That's really what it comes down to, you know. Like you could have on a dopest fit ever.
Yeah.
Top to bottom has the most money, like not the most money, but like top to bottom, hella expensive.
Yeah.
But if you like slunked off in a corner and you're like, you know, meek and, you know, like looking frail and, you know, anxious and like you're like an agoraphobia person who just stepped out the house for the first time in years, then I don't care what you have on, the fit is just, it's a dud.
It's a dud.
You know, not the, you know, agoraphobic people or anything like that, but
and
not to make fun of them. But
that's what I think too, like where it's at right now. It's like a lot of people do what's like fits them. And I feel like there's a lot of value in that. You know what I'm saying? And again, certain things, it's like shit I would never fuck with. You know what I mean? But I feel that if it makes them feel good about what the fuck they got going on, then who am I to shit on that? You dig?
right.
So I think that there's now age more where people, especially the younger generation, they're a lot less afraid of being unapologetically them than it was in high school. High school, there was a lot of fear in getting roasted. You know what I mean? Back then, you wanted that because that's all you really had when it came to clothes and shit. Like you go school shopping. You know what I mean? Get the first fit for the first day of school. You that's like what you got to look forward to because you got to go learn some shit. You got to go through some dull ass classes and shit. So for that, it's like your fit was kind of like highlight of the day. Now it's you have so many other problems and shit going on. Now it's just like, man, fuck all that. Like I'm gonna wear this. This makes me feel dope.
Right.
I might get roasted. I might not. Some people are soft. Some people aren't. So I feel like we're in a age too where a lot of people are getting exposed as far as their frailness.
Oh, well, you know what?
And people are just fucking mean, bro.
People are mean.
People
man.
are fucking mean.
I think it's just the, you know,
and
it's
this just gave them an opportunity to be
to be meaner.
Yeah, to just to yell it at the top of their lungs. You know what I mean? And so, what I feel was important for us to touch on this topic, and you know what I'm saying, we can get out of here in a sec, was really that not necessarily the sense of pride, but the good feelings we got behind it was so raw in those periods of difficulties in our personal lives, and just the opportunity or possibility you can still get fucking roasted. So being that we came from that era, it's like
But by a
we're
group.
strong as shit now to where it's, nigga, that shit don't faze me.
Right.
I got fucking real problems in life. What the fuck is that gonna do? Make me go cry in the corner or something? So
Right.
now it's like,
Well, it's like what you said last time. You know, we're talking about your other fit. Like you talked about clothes that I could take off.
yeah, I could switch this shit up at any given time,
It's like it doesn't matter.
and then be happier for it or not. But I could do that.
Right.
I'm not gonna like just jump out of my skin and be like, fuck, like that. Throw the whole person.
Oh
on that
God!
shit. Oh,
Right.
fuck, yeah, throw the whole
Right.
motherfucking
Oh,
person on.
now he made fun of my clothes. He said my clothes are whack, so that
So
makes
now-
me whack, or
yeah.
I feel whack. Because that's how he wanted you to. That's how they wanted you to
It's
feel.
never tied to me.
Yeah.
It's always something I could just this layer like shed.
Right.
It's and to me, I think there's a very, very serious power in the fact of an expression that you get from like clothes, haircuts, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Shoes, dress clothes. It makes people feel really good overall, you know what I'm saying? It's an opportunity to express your personality.
I think, and what you're basing those decisions on too, like your style of haircut or the way you wear your clothes or, all the things that you mentioned. I think it's just to kind of take it a bit broader, because ultimately we need that feedback though.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking about clothes or whether we're talking about something else, just because we want to be socially calibrated. We want to make sure that, okay, all right, is what I'm wearing going to push me further away from the group, or is it going to bring me closer to the group?
Or your goal.
Right. Or your goal.
Your objective.
Sure.
Sometimes
Sure.
Good
point.
It
Good
could
point.
be because the way you got to word it too is instead of to the group, it's like, am I going to flock what everybody else do? People could take it the wrong way, because the goal isn't necessarily to acclimate, but it's not to disrupt to a point where, like, for a perfect example.
Or to get praise.
Yeah, perfect example. Like if I'm going into a certain situation, outfit wise, right, a business networking event, right, and they require that group, and I want to be in that group for business attire.
Sure. Okay.
You get me?
I get you.
The business attire I'm going to wear is still an expression of myself, but that's what qualifies for this group. I want to go to this. I want to learn. I want to network. I'm not going to go with a tank top on, because the fact is, if I do that, I'm disrupting what they have going on where I want to enter into. You know what I'm saying? So those are the situations where I think that you were trying to express is to fit with the group.
Sure. Yes, in a way. I was yes. And well, it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about, I'll make this example, like flamingos. Flamingos all look the same.
Yeah.
Right? But during mating time, like only certain flamingos mate with certain flamingos is because they have that like something unique about them still. And so it's the same situation with you in the suit. Okay, fine. Black suit, navy suit, gray suit, whatever suit, but it's the man in the suit.
It's the underlying quality.
Yep.
That's a great way to end it, because like whatever you choose to wear, it's always the underlying quality of the person wearing it that matters the most, because that really is, I feel like, how humans connect and communicate to begin with. I don't feel they do it because they're not drawn to the shirt, they're drawn to the person in the shirt. You get what I'm saying? They might be drawn, actually, you don't need to change that. They might be drawn to the shirt, they might be drawn to the watch, but the goal is to get them drawn to you. Like, if they drawn to the watch, then that's where their attention stops, especially when it comes to like interactions with people. Oh, it's a nice watch, it's cool. The person wearing is the asshole, so nah, it's a nice watch though. And I'm out. That's it. Chick's asshole. That's
I see
like,
what you're
you
saying.
Get what I'm saying?
Don't let the best thing about you be what you're wearing.
We out, bro. Like that. I ain't got shit else to say. That was a nice one.
Peace.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
That was a good one.
I was waiting. I was trying to end it on what you were gonna say.